At the Virginia City Miners Park. Today the place looks quiet and lonely, but tomorrow the Civil War reenactors are gonna set a war camp right here, like in the old days. Just look around.
My name is Barbara White. I'm a member of the Nevada Civil War Volunteers, and our tent represents a lady refugee. She's had to move. Either the war is coming too close, or her house has been commandeered by one of the sides as a command post. So she's grabbed her treasures of her heart and her major necessities, and she's fled. Her army would take her in to the edge of the camp. Women in camp were disruptive, but she would be at the end. Officers would gently donate things to her to try to make her a little bit comfortable, and in return she would laundry, sew for the men, write letters for those who could not write, maybe do a little bit of nursing. When it was safe, they would move her on. She would just have the bare necessities, a few treasures and things. Women often did not have sensible boots, and they discovered young men, boys' boots would work so that they could walk distances. And in the tent represents her treasures, her sewing implements, and her personal hygiene implements, and her family treasures in the back. Mrs. Groon is 44 years. 43 years, beg your pardon. Mrs. Groon and Sergeant Groon of the Light Infantry Artillery. They have been members of the Civil War group for 44 years, and we're doing a quilt. Women into town would do quilts. They would get from the sanitation commissions the sizes, and they would work on doing quilts for the soldiers. They would knit socks. Towns would kind of have a bit of a contest who could do the best and the most socks, pairs of socks for the troops. You got bragging rights and probably your name in the local paper.
My name is Paulette Groon. Fred and I have been in Nevada Civil War Volunteers for 43 years. Currently I'm doing stab stitching, outlining the pattern on the quilt. So I'm stitching around this row. You can see one that's finished here. Stitched around the outside and stitched around the inside. Really enjoy doing it. Probably. We only do it in camp, so this one's probably about a year. And this is quilt number 5. We've made 4 before this, and we sell tickets and someone wins it when we're done with it. And this one is almost half done. Lots of experiences, lots of fun.
Yes.
Lots of fun.
I'm Fred Grun, Sergeant Major. These small pieces are in the hollow ones so that they scatter injure people instead of kill them, so that you had another couple of people for each injured man tied up with taking care of him instead of fighting. Yeah, all kinds of, especially with this kind of stuff. You know, see, this thing is a Parrott rifle, 2.5 inch, and then this ridge here is for lead, and this is for a rifled cannon barrel. These are smooth bored, but they're still hollow, and they fill them with these either buckshot or this. They make a mess and everything. Yes, indeed. Yeah, the idea was to maim and possibly kill, but mostly maim.
I'll do that. Everything's there. And, you know, I have to figure it all out.
This is the ridge. Those are the uplays. One of them.
I'm Christine McNary. I'm a photographer. I specialize in today's world, I specialize in what is called 19th century photography, or collodion photography, often referred to as a collodionist, which was the primary process and used during the 19th century, during Matthew Brady's time and all that good stuff. Matthew Brady was he was one of the principal photographers that enabled his crew to photograph the Civil War. To take one photograph, and it is a minimal of a 7-step process. I'll start with either a piece of glass or some tin, in this case some tin. I take my collodion, I pour the collodion very carefully over the plate, and then I take the collodion and I put it in a bath of silver nitrate, where it sits for a couple of minutes. That silver nitrate mixes with the collodion and the salts in the collodion, making my silver halides, effectively my film. The plate is just the support for that film. After I take it out in my darkroom, I very carefully place that in my plate holder. And this is normally done in dark when I'm doing that. This is now my plate holder, and I'm ready to take the photograph. From there, I walk over to my camera. The first thing I need to do is focus my camera. So I take off the lens cap. And in order to see my subject, I end up covering myself up, and I lost the mic. Let's cap off. To focus it, I simply move the back piece of the camera back and forth until I have it in focus. But in order to be able to see what I'm doing, I have to cover myself up. And now I'm ready to take the photograph. And to take the photograph, I simply and I take this back to my darkroom, at which point I pull the plate out, and at this point I'm hand holding the plate and I pour my developer over it. And once that picture comes up to where I think it looks right, I stop it from developing any further by pouring water over it. So the whole thing's basically laser cut and 3D printed.
After you harden something, you heat it and do it in the oil bath, and they're all different, and you learn different ways to harden different steel. But this is the final test. You take the thing out of the quench tank, run it across there. That knife flat rejects that file, just skates right off. If it bites in,